Doo-doo-doo. Oh, it's your tournament deck. Man, I miss going to tournaments. Yeah, I was there. I was in your pocket, remember? I watched everything. I saw you lose. Okay, bye. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new, and if you're new, please subscribe, like this video, share this video, and leave a comment. Also, follow me on TikTok and on Instagram. And today, I am going to give you some tips on making your tournament deck, your 5G deck, or your 3G deck. So, first tip is, know what type of blader you are. If you know what type of blader you are, then everything else will revolve around that. The combos that you're gonna make, your strategies, your game plan, everything. You have to know what is your playing style. Alright? Because if you know that, then everything else will just come into place. Tip number 2, you have to check all the parts that are available to you, or what you can get before a tournament. Because not all parts are available to everybody, and you'll just have to make the most of the parts that you have. So just put all the parts that you have in front of you and then select which you think is going to be performing the best for your strategy. And talking about strategy, tip number 3 is make a strategy. Since you already know the parts that you have and what kind of blader you are, then it will be easy to form a strategy. How many attack types, how many defense stamina hybrids, how many, you have the idea. And lastly, tip number 4, optimize all the parts in building your combos. Because you can't have, for example, one good part and then put it on a disc or a layer that sucks. So you have to make sure that all of the parts you're using are gonna work harmoniously or at the best that they can be. So before I proceed with showing you my 5G deck and how I came up with them, here are some competitive parts that I would probably never use in a tournament. Now, not because they're not competitive, it's just that they do not fit my playing style. Alright, so do not compare with other Baytubers that, oh, when it rains Beyblade said that he's not gonna use that in his 5G deck. No, each blader has their own preference and has their own playing style. Because there's this one person who commented on another Baytuber and said that, oh, when it rains didn't do that, or won't said that this and that. Guys, we all have different playing styles. What's competitive with them might not be competitive for me, or the parts that they like may not be the parts that I like. So it really depends. You might agree with the deck that I've made, or you may not agree. I'm just going to show you my style, my blading style, and how I make my own 5G deck. So here are the parts that are competitive. I'm telling you, they're competitive, but I just won't use them in tournaments because they do not suit my playing style. Ignition Dash, really competitive, really good, has tons of LAD and stamina. Yeah, but I won't use that. Rubber Tips. All of these, in case you didn't know, Quick, Extreme, Evolution, Jolt. I'm not gonna use them in any tournaments. They are aggressive. They are for really powerful attacks and they are really fast, but they are not for me. High Jaggy. I would rather use the regular Jaggy than this. This is easy to get off balance. Universe. These two drivers I would have used or would use had not the Venture driver come out. So since there's a Venture driver now, I don't have to use these. I don't have to settle with these. Lastly, Bearing. I find Bearing, it's really good. It has really good LAD. The problem is the combo gets really off balance easily because of the shape of the plate. And of course, your combo is going to be easy to burst. But it's really nice. I use it for testing, but I'm not gonna use it in tournaments. I use it for testing my combos, but it's really nice. And lastly, Brave Hyperion. Yeah, I'm not gonna use a Brave Ring or the Hyperion chip, not unless 2 Lucifer chips are not allowed, because 2 Spin Changer chips are not allowed. So you can't have Diabolos and Spriggan. That's from what I know. Correct me if I'm wrong if you can't use 2 Spin Changer parts, because back then I thought you can't have Lord Spriggan and Master Diabolos in the same deck because they're both Spin Changers. So if this set of chips are allowed, then I'm not gonna use the Hyperion. And also not the Brave. I know the Brave has rubber and it's really heavy, but yeah, I prefer the parts that I've chosen. Now, let's proceed with the 5G deck that I've made. First, the 2 Defense Stamina Hybrid combos. This is a staple. Most people use this. This has been in the tournaments for almost a year now. It is Tempest, Solomon. If you don't have a Solomon chip, then you can use the Hyperion. Again, the only reason I'm not using Hyperion is if these chips are allowed. 2A, Extend Plus, 2B, and Drift. Now these 2 are really good defensively, and for LAD, these are not the best versions of these. The best version of this combo is by using 1S wheel. If you want to increase your LAD, you need to use 1S wheel instead of 2A. But the kind of blader I am, I'm more of an attack type with insurance. Yeah, that's more of my strategy. Attacks with insurance. When I say insurance, it means that if the attack doesn't work, at least you can outspin it. My problem with single chassis and heavy disc is they're easier to burst. And you can't really switch. If you try to switch on attack mode, then you're increasing your burst prone ability. I mean, you're more burst prone if you try to switch Extend Plus on attack mode, or you try to launch it really hard, then you're more burst prone. So yeah, this is the best combo for this if you want LAD. For maximum LAD, use this. Alright? You just have to strategize in your launching to make sure that you don't burst, and pray that you don't go up against heavy hitters like Rage Lioness. But yeah, it's proven to burst a lot. Me, I'm gonna use 2A simply because I want to have the option to attack and also be a defense stamina combo. So yeah. One tip about the Extend Plus: get the Extend Plus from Union Achilles. I find that spring of that Extend Plus is stronger compared to the Extend driver of Z Achilles. Again, if you want a more stamina LAD versions of these 2, use the single chassis and the heavy disc. But if you want more burst resistance and an attack strategy to be added, then I suggest you use the double chassis. Now, for the world combo, world drift combination, you have 4A and Giga. Back then, you wouldn't know which Beyblade among these 2 you would put 1S wheel, because you can only use one of each part. So most of the time, 1S wheel would end up with world and drift, or with Extend Plus. And since 4A and Giga is now available, you can actually use it on the world combo. It is a must that the 4A, Giga, and drift lands with the world combo. Why? 4A is not balanced. Therefore, the best driver for 4A, which is not balanced, is drift, because drift can just make any combo stand, even if it's not balanced. Alright? Giga scrapes, because it's too lowered. So if you put Extend Plus on Giga, you will just scrape. So, the best driver for Giga is also drift, because drift will not make any disc scrape. And drift is best paired with world, because you want a spin changer to be paired with this kind of driver. Therefore, this is the best combo for drift and world if you want LAD. But again, it doesn't suit my playing style. I'd rather have 2B because I can switch to attack mode, and you have to practice a launching style which would make drift not go wild. It's something that I can do. Now let's proceed to my attack types. Rage Helios with the metal core chip. It's a must-have. 3A. There's no other chassis for this. Now I have Zone. Now why am I not using Exceed? Because again, I'm not a fan of rubber tips, but it is an option. I'm keeping it with me. So it's, for example, I'm gonna go on a tournament. These are the parts that I'm going to take as spare parts, including this. I might not use this, but again, I do not know if the chips are allowed or... Yeah, but the Brave I'm probably not gonna use. Now, my suggestion with this is, the reason why I'm using Zone is because it's good for LED, and I want to have the option of making Rage a powerhouse attacker that moves a lot, or a stationary attacker. Okay, you know what a stationary attacker is? It's the one that stays at the center but knocks out opponents. Because in some tournaments, you actually change stadiums, and for example, the Plus X, I'd probably use this attachment on the Dash Stadium because the Dash Stadium has lesser pockets. It's a pocket and two small pockets. While in the Standard Stadium, this would self-KO easily. So in the Standard Stadium, I might use this instead, just to make him a stationary attacker. And again, there's a way to launch them and still get those big hits. But yeah, those are my options. So I'm gonna use this if I don't want to be self-KO'd, or I'm gonna use this if the stadium can somehow prevent self-KO. So it's an option. That's why it's important that you have these parts and bring them. Best left spin attacker so far in the entire Beyblade Burst. So yeah, and the attachments also adds more weight. Now, I said a while ago that I'm more of an attack type with insurance. I've already told you the insurance with these combos. Sure, their LAD might have been reduced, but at least I have the option to attack. And they're still good for LAD. The strategy with the world combo is always opposite spin. Always opposite spin. This is probably one of the best in same spin. So, I mean in right spin. Next, here. It's Infinite Lucifer 1, Shield 2A, Destroy Dash, and I'm gonna compare it with this one. It's Hollow Lucifer 2, 1A, Venture. Alright. So, let's talk about the chassis. The drivers, it's fixed. There's no other driver I would use with these combos. It is the chassis that is swappable. I can put 1A here and put 2S here. The only reason why 2S is here is because 2S is better paired with Destroy Dash. It is the best chassis paired with Destroy Dash. And why I didn't use Brave, I feel like the Infinite Shield Ring is actually harder to destabilize compared to the Brave Ring. Even though the Brave Ring has rubber and it's heavier, I would still use this. This can still KO a lot of opponents. And in case it doesn't KO opponents, yes, I'm using it for attack, even though it has shield. Again, I want insurance. It might not KO other opponents, but it can. At least if it doesn't, it's defensive and has tons of LAD. It can outspin if the attack doesn't work. Same with my Rage combo. It can outspin if it doesn't KO the opponent. With this one, yeah, 1A is just the powerhouse for right spin chassis for attack. If the recoil doesn't work, then it can also outspin because Venture has also amazing LAD. Whenever the rubber touches the stadium when it's slowing down, it kind of boosts the rotation. It makes the spinning last longer because of the rubber. Remember, rubber kind of adds to the speed of the rotation whenever it hits the stadium. So speeding up would prolong its stoppage. And Venture is probably my favorite attack driver right now. Next is Destroy Dash. So yeah, you have the option of doing that. So yeah, these two are really heavy and compact. They have tons of LAD, and they can knock opponents and burst opponents. I'm using Lucifer 2 chip here just to balance the hollow ring a little bit. But yeah, Venture can take the weight difference. Really good. You can also try and swap the chassis, and it'll be okay because 2A and 2S are both really balanced and heavy compact chassis. Oh, I forgot to mention, if since the infinite ring and the hollow ring is quite hard to get. If you don't have them, then the backup is either you get the latest Ragnarok or the Belial and make an attack combo. Yes, make an attack combo for this. This is shaped like Judgment. Make an attack combo for this. That's just me, if you have the same playing style. But yeah, those two could be a replacement, or you can just use the Brave. The reason why I'm not using Brave is because I have Hollow and Infinite. But back then, when I don't have Hollow and Infinite, I'd probably use this. And another Superking ring. Lastly, I forgot to mention, why do I have Charge Dash? Who uses Charge Dash? Well, I do. I use Charge Dash because Charge Dash adds to the weight and has good burst resistance. The spring is really strong. It has somehow an above average LAD. Somehow. And the only combo I use it on is the Tempest Solomon combo. If I want this to just be pure attack, I'll use this. I've used it a lot. This can outspin some mediocre or some other combos that are being made. But yeah, because the attack mode on Extend Plus is kind of wild. If you're using the standard stadium, you're prone to self KO probably. In this Dax, in the Dash Stadium, I would use the attack mode of Extend Plus. But if I can't and I don't want to self KO, I'd probably use Charge Dash. So yeah, let's include Brave and the two new Dynamite Bay blades. I mean layers, chips, combos. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, if I'm gonna go to the tournament, these are the parts that I'm gonna bring. And I have an, if you have extra Solomon chips, or whatever extra parts that you may have, because they may break during the battles, you may lose some teeth. Bring extra parts. That's probably some of my extra tips. Bring extra parts, get doubles of the parts that you need, and yeah, just practice and practice. Okay, so I'm gonna make a video where these three attack types are gonna battle these two defense stamina types using their double chassis combo and their single chassis combo. So stay tuned for that. And that's it for the video. For all your Beyblade needs, just look at the description down below. Thank you for watching. Bye. Keep safe.